Good morning, everyone. Here I am again. Every day, it seems. Every day all winter out here in the small welding shop, trying to pass the time away, doing something constructive. So, in today's exciting episode, which one isn't, right? I'm gonna just put up the full skeleton of the trailer build upper frame. So I want to get it all roughed in as far as the full upper skeleton and then fill it in type of thing. You'll see. This is really where the gantry crane comes in handy. I can hold that bar up here just with a clamp, make sure everything's level, and then weld it in, fill in any gaps that I have. I love it. In the interest of saving time and trying not to make too boring ass of a video, I went around this project and all I did was cut the ends at a 45-degree angle and tacked them all in. That's all I did. You know, I grinded out the 45-degree angle cut, and I used a 60 grit flap disc to clean up the weld side of the steel, and just tacked them all in. 14 of them total. And we haven't even welded anything yet, hardly, except the corners. So it matched up. It looks pretty good. So what's next? You can see only on the ends, or the corners rather, did I completely weld it all up. And the rest of it is just tacked in. See that? It's all just tacked in. It didn't take that long, honestly, to do it all. I had to cut them all at that 45-degree angle. See that? That was kind of a pain, but it's worth it. It looks slick. It looks awesome. See that? Everything's tacked. Now what's going to happen is, in between here, I'll show you on the throwaway trailer outside, there's going to be some square tubing, probably square 1-inch tubing that's going to go all the way up to about here or so. And that's going to cover all this crease in the inside. I don't know why they didn't do that to start with. Now, sometimes you run into problems like I did. It's not the first time. It's like the 200th time where you got, like, here on the corners, I had like a 1/4-inch gap. And I had to just take my time and just start welding, just tacking on welds, just to fill that area so I didn't have to cut any metal strips and stick them in there. That would have been a more pain in the butt. But both sides were a 1/4 inch short. It wasn't because they mismeasured or nothing. It's just the way it worked out. I extended it a little bit by a 1/2 inch on the ends here. And that's what caused it. But it's not a big deal. You just fill it in with weld and grind out the top of it, and you can't even tell. But it looks pretty good thus far. So what I'm gonna do is just pick up a torch and start welding. Just weld the whole thing in, and then probably not today, maybe, I don't know, might be today, but more than likely tomorrow, I'll fabricate a winch for this on the front of it, like we talked about in the last video. But yeah, let me show you what the corners are gonna look like from the throwaway trailer. You see, whoever this was, made this as like a canoe rack or something like that, which I think is badass. I really like it, and I'm gonna use this design. Heck, no, I was gonna say maybe even the steel's good, but it ain't. I can feel it's rusted as heck. But I'll just put that, something like this, right in the corner, and it'll make it seem really nice. I mean, seam as in seam, like a sewing seam. It'll seam in there really nice. Seam. Anyway, I made a lot of changes in the back. I extended this all the way here. I think that this rusted out on his project because he didn't cover that hole, and water, snow, rust, salt, everything was able to get in there. I moved mine all the way back, this bar all the way back, so that it would cover that opening there. It doesn't look like it's going to really interfere with the tailgate as much, and if it does, that's not a big deal. We'll work around it. But yeah, you can see I just moved it all the way to the end, and that's kind of sort of what created the 1/2 inch gap. It wasn't 1/2 inch, more like a 1/4 of an inch gap. Like I said, I just filled that in with weld. So this is how we're doing it, and we will fabricate a nice winch holder. Instead of the 2x3, I'm gonna cut up a 4x4, and I'm gonna piece it in the top end of the project. Whenever, you know, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But like I said, I'm going to put this on a time lapse, turn on some music, take my time, and just go to town and weld everything all up. And then I'll talk to you when we're all done with that. Yeah, buddy. This is it. Almost done. I gotta say, almost done. We have the tailgate. We have the front winch to put on. We have some more welding that we missed. And we missed it on purpose because I gotta take the tires off and go up underneath for some of these side mounts as well as some of these fender mounts. Once I get the tires off, I can reach underneath and get the other side of those tire tabs that we put on. Everything is going really well according to plan. We ran into a few hiccups, nothing to fret about. All in all, though, you know, this is the biggest project I have ever taken on. I got my Harbor Freight 3-ton floor jack, so I can do whatever now, yeah. Anyway, this may seem hard to believe. This is the biggest project I have ever taken on as far as welding goes. Now keep it in mind, I said it before, and a lot of you know that I didn't even learn how to weld until I was a senior citizen. I obtained senior citizen status. That's when I had the hunger to learn it. So yeah, anybody can do this. That's my point, you know. I never picked up a torch till I was in my senior citizen status, free coffee club, yeah, discounts around town, man of the people, yeah, buddy. Anyway, I'll be frank with you, this was the easiest project. This didn't seem that hard. Maybe it's because it is, I mean, don't get me wrong, it was a lot more work, it was a lot more heavy lifting, and it was a lot more intimidating because when you think of building something this huge, just one person, You think, oh, it's going to cost $20,000 and I'm going to need 5 people that know what they're doing. But you really never know until you start. I mean, I used to see people, when I first moved here, underneath their trailers and trucks and stuff like that with their stick welder, putting on their own hitches and things like that. And I was jealous. I was jealous. And now I've joined them. I'm one of them. I can do that. So there's no reason to be jealous of anybody's skills. Just go out and get them. I'm not the best. I'm not the worst. But I was able to make something useful, and I'm kind of proud of it, to be honest with you. We have to dress it up. We got all the ways to go. You know, the end result be the guide, right? I mean, until we're towing this thing down the road, we don't really know. But yeah, it's going to be a fine trailer. We know. It's going to be a fine trailer. And I'm going to really start customizing it right now. And I'm going to take a break like today. I'm going to come back at it tomorrow because there's some things I need to cipher on. So thank you guys for watching again. We're having some pretty good progress. See you on the next one. Yeah, buddy.